Welcome aboard via train 42 from Toronto to Ottawa. Now I'm jumping on board at Trenton Junction as that is my local stop. It's been almost a dozen years since I've been on Via Rail, and I was lucky enough to get on one of the new Siemens Charger powered trains. Via's ordered 35 of these new trains and has taken delivery of 17 of them since 2022. More about the train in a minute, but first, why am I on a train to Ottawa? Well, just after Christmas I had to make a last-minute trip to Ottawa to meet my wife, who had driven up a few days earlier. As she had her car there, me driving made no sense, so the train was the logical way to go. However, this is a day of travel purchase, so there's absolutely no discounts. And being the week after Christmas, the train was about 70% booked. No forward-facing seats were left, so I'd have to stick with a rear-facing, which is not the way I want to spend 3 hours. Being a late afternoon, early evening trip, right over dinner time, I'd have to stop and grab something on the way to the station and maybe a few snacks for the ride. And I have to bring a full-size suitcase with me as well. After looking at the prices, it turned out to be business class was the better deal, as I got my forward-facing seat, a free bag, and dinner, which I will talk about a little later. So here's my home for the next 3 hours. I'm in seat 1D, which is the left side right at the beginning of the business class for this trip. So our first stop of the trip is Belleville, Ontario, about 15 kilometers down the road from where we got on at Trenton. Belleville is one of a large number of stations over the last 15 or 20 years that Via has completely rebuilt, modernizing it, new elevators, making it a much nicer travel experience. Now, as you can see in the GPS in the bottom corner of the screen, we're really not going that fast because just outside of Belleville there's a major CN yard, so got to run slow through that yard. And this is where one of my first perks of business class kicked in. A free beverage on board. Now the selection was limited, but it was cold and enjoyable. Clearing the CN yard east of Belleville, the train crew is able to put the pedal down a little bit, and we got some speed going. Still not topped out for this trip yet, but I will say these new trains are incredibly quiet, smooth, and comfortable. So it's rather quiet at this end of business class, so I can pan the camera around a little bit and get a look. Next to me we get a semi-private meeting room with club seating for 4 and a table. The business class seats are nice and high with dual flip-down armrest and a fold-down table. And down in the bottom corner we got a couple 110 outlets and USB charge ports. Coming into Kingston now, we can see the sun starting to set over Collins Bay. All those little white plastic dots in the background you see, that's all the boats up on land for winter storage wrapped up. Pretty sad and depressing to see, but that's what happens here in southern Ontario in January. Along with our stop in Kingston, that's when dinner came on board. As you can see here, I got a couple Swedish meatballs, some mashed potatoes, and steamed vegetables, with a little salad to start and a brownie for dessert. I will say the meal was really good, and there was a couple other options. There was a vegan option as well. They took my order when I boarded back in Trenton. Now, just leaving Kingston, this was part of the trip I was really looking forward to, as the main CN Via Rail line crosses over the Rideau Canal. Now, if you watched my video series from last summer, you know we went up the Rideau Canal from Kingston to Ottawa, so we went under this bridge twice. So it was kind of interesting to see the canal from this angle. As you can see, it's all tarped in and closed in for some winter maintenance work there. Coming into Brockville, as you can see, this is a very small, one of the older historic train stations. The interesting part here at Brockville, this is where the rail splits and goes north to Ottawa or continues on east towards Montreal. Out of Brockville on our way to Smith Falls. As you can see, there's snow on the ground. It's starting to look more like winter. And as promised, a little more on the train. So the Siemens Charger is a diesel-electric dual-mode passenger locomotive built by Siemens specifically for the North American market. Amtrak is using it throughout the U.S., Brightline in Florida is using it, and Via is running it on the Windsor to Quebec City corridor. It's dual mode, meaning they can run normal diesel electric like we are here, or if the infrastructure is in place, it can run pure electric by pulling power from an overhead catenary. The train does have a top speed of 201 kilometers an hour. However, on the via routes, we max out at 160. Well, after we left Smith Falls, the sun kind of went down. There wasn't a whole lot to see, but coming into Ottawa, that's one level crossing I wouldn't want to get stuck at. The traffic looked like it was backed up for several kilometers waiting for us to go by. And once into Ottawa, I tried to get some good video of the train. However, they kind of was hurrying us off the platform inside. Ottawa train station itself, this is the main one downtown. Very nice station, very clean, very well lit, very friendly, lots of easy parking. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video on the new Via Rail Siemens Charger train, and hope to see you back here again next time. Thanks for watching.